Hello, welcome to another live stream. I hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everybody's having a great day. Let me just focus in here. And that's pretty in focus. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream. We are here. We're started. I was just running around getting a drink and everything, and I think we're good. So we're here. We're going to be playing some Dead Space. If you've been around, we've been playing Dead Space for a while, hence the colors are a little bit weird today because I try to keep the room dark so I can feel more immersed in the game because I struggle a lot being scared. Yeah, the music's okay. I struggle a lot being scared when I'm streaming because I talk a lot and I get distracted. And so I like to have the lights dimmed down so I can feel a bit more of that fear. So that's kind of where we are right now. One of the things for sure, I forgot to take my meds today, so I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if I'm going to be like super energized. I don't know if I'm going to be super talkative. We'll see. I didn't realize I didn't take them till about 7:30 in the evening tonight, and that's too late to take them. Basically, I take heart medication, but I also take ADHD pills, and I was about to take them, and I was getting up to go get a drink, and then my doctor called. I forgot I had a doctor's appointment. And so I rushed over to get on the computer because it was supposed to be a like face-to-face or like a video call, because he's a specialist, it wouldn't be paid by the government if I didn't actually see him, so he had to do it through video. So in the rush of like running to get on the computer, turn it on, get the camera on, and make sure everything was working, I completely forgot I had to take my pills. And then as soon as I was done with him, I had to rush out to grab my daughter. So by the time I got home, it was not even on my mind. And then I fell asleep while we were sitting on the couch, which I never do. And all of a sudden, I woke up because she was laughing. I was like, why am I so tired? And then I got up to grab my house coat, and I saw my pills sitting on the table there, and I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot. So I'm definitely not going to be who I've been for the last few weeks on stream. Hopefully it's not a bad thing. I mean, I never had them before, but when I don't take them now, I get really tired. So I'm hoping we'll be okay. We'll see. I don't know how it'll be for chattiness. Maybe I'll be more scared. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. And that's about it. So I'll get a drink and we'll get started, I guess. Oh, that is delicious. Oh, that is really yummy. Oh, wow. Okay. I gotta text Alana to let her know because she's the one that picked this out for me. Okay, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna play some Dead Space. We'll get going with that. Yeah, I think I just want to make sure that all my streams are running the way they're supposed to. Okay, it's showing that it's adults, but we are on. Actually, there's not anybody watching right now, so I'm gonna run a full 3-minute ad so that way new people that pop in can just get right in without having to see the ads. So boom. Okay, so there's an ad running on Twitch. YouTube seems like we're good. It seems like we're live. I'm hoping. Go to my channel. Please tell me I'm live. It shows that I'm live there and the video is working perfect. So we're good. It seems like everything is working the way that we intend it to. I'll go back to Tickfinity because I'm really hoping the chat will actually stay up, which it hasn't been doing lately, but hopefully it will this time. And my stream is over there now. Let me go on this screen. Oh, actually, mute to headphones so that way I don't hear myself. I'll put this over here just in case. Click back on that and then switch my input to HDMI and hopefully we're okay. Okay, seems to be working. Just gonna load up the game real quick. Yeah, you can hear it. Perfect. I moved my cameras slightly, not in any like crazy way. It's just normally I had this one on like a scissor arm, like my microphone stand, and so like I could move it a bit further back, so it was actually further away. And the other camera I had on like a straight pole, so it was like right at the back, because I like to have space. But the problem I was running into is because it was so far away. In order to get my logo, which you can't see on TikTok, but on Twitch and YouTube, you can see the logo there. In order to get the logo on camera, I had to be like on the bottom half of the screen of the little camera window. And it looked really amateur. It looked like I didn't know what I was doing as far as like framing myself. And it just made it look tacky. But there was no way to get both me and the logo behind me unless I put the camera down real low, but then my monitors are in the way, so I can't do that either. So then I switched the arms around. Now this one's on the straight arm, which has brought it closer to me, but it's a fisheye, so it works because we've got like lots of space around me, so it should be fine. And this one is now on the boom arm, which means I could bring it in closer, which then means the sign is much closer to me behind. So you can see my logo behind me a little bit better. Downside is now it's pretty much like from my chest up is what you can see, whereas before, like, you could see down to almost my stomach if I centered myself properly. So I've given up a little bit of real estate on the camera, but I think it looks better because you can see my logo, which is what I wanted. TN, hello. I've been good. How have you been? But yeah, let's get started. You know what? The camera looks okay. I'm going to do one quick thing. What am I hitting that for? Where is my... Oh, crud. Can I find it through here? Let me... And bring it over. Can I bring it over, please? Bring it over. There we go. Just the... I don't have... Ooh, it makes a big difference. I don't have... my lights turned on right now, my studio lights, because it is far too bright, and then it kind of just pulls me out of the fear. So I'm using the LED strip that's on the back of my monitor. You may have seen, I did a video on it a while back, like over a year ago now, where it like responds to whatever's happening on screen. They're really cool. They're by LitMe. They're a really awesome set. They sent me one for the TV as well. They sent me one for the TV as well. I haven't had too much of a chance to use the TV one. I'm hoping to in the near future. But they sent me one for the computer, and it's really cool. You plug it in through USB, you stick it onto the back of your monitor, and it responds to the colors on your screen. So when you've got like big explosions and stuff, your whole wall lights up. So it adds like, it's almost like making your screen bigger without having to make your screen bigger. So it's really cool. The only thing is I don't get to use it very much because I'm streaming all the time. So I use it for my horror streams so you can see the lighting kind of reflecting off the wall and hitting my face, but it's a little bit too bright. So I've turned them down a little bit. Obviously I'm pretty dim right now, but it's because I want to be scared. So that's what we're going to do. So I guess we'll get into the game and hopefully we'll have some fear. So let's do this. Yummy. So like I said, the camera is definitely much closer now, so you can see much more of my face. This camera can actually go a bit brighter, so we can do that right now. I didn't even think about that. That's pretty good there. That's pretty good there. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much all the news. That's pretty much where we are. So we're going to continue with Dead Space. We should be getting close to the end now. I don't think we're going to beat it tonight. I did start earlier. I normally start at 10:30 at night. It is almost 10 o'clock right now. I started about 40 minutes early, mainly because nobody comes to these streams early on, or nobody comes to these streams on Thursday this late at night. Because my European friends are in bed right now. It's like 4 in the morning over there. Most of them anyways, except for a crazy night owl who is a night owl. And my American friends, it's 10 o'clock at night. Most of them are going to bed. It's a Thursday. Everybody goes to school and everything and work the next day. So nobody really hangs out. But it's the only night that I can really do horror stuff. So I decided to try to start a little bit earlier to see if maybe I could catch a few of them in the very tail end of their day and you know, maybe they'll notice that I'm streaming, because some people don't even know that I stream at this time. Yeah, so I started a little bit earlier. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's get started, I guess. I guess there's nothing else to say, so just making sure that all my settings are on. I'm nervous that nothing's working. Okay, let's go. Oh, I can't see the... Hold on. Game is a little tiny bit loud. And microphone is muted. So now all I hear is the game. Perfect. Okay. Launch the SOS beacon. Okay. do I have inventory-wise? I got a couple of bullets, not much. I got some oxygen, but that's about it. Oh god, I'm really, really underprepared. Okay. Am I?
Clearance confirmed.
Ha! I do have level 3. Can't stop me now. Please let there be ammo and stuff. Please. Oh. Little eyes, what secrets have you seen? Oh, this game is so unsettling. Credits are good. Whoa! Whew. Okay. Maybe the meds do make me less scared. Maybe that's what's happening. Okay. Okay. Whew. I feel like I died last time. That's what happened, I think. Yeah, I want to say that I died.
Clearance confirmed.
And that's why I'm doing this part right now. So I should be careful, especially if they're giving me health and stuff. It's probably not a good sign. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Administrator access granted. Prepping launch tubes.
There it is.
Launch tubes obstructed.
Wait.
What was that?
The miners must have booby-trapped the launch tubes, too. They're scrap.
Well, that's great. We can't just toss the beacon out a window.
There's gotta be something. The asteroid. The one in the mining bay for smelting.
What about it?
If I attach the SOS beacon to that asteroid and then launch it away from the ship, we'd get a clean broadcast.
And you get yourself killed. The machinery in there is still running, Isaac.
Then it probably kept those things out, too. This is our best shot, Kendra. I'm taking it.
All right. Destroy tether 1, 2. Oh gosh, there's a million steps. Okay, okay. Oh god. We good? I feel like a rebel without a cause. I know everybody that's doing horror streams right now is is really busy playing Resident Evil. But I'm marching to my own drum, playing some Dead Space. Clearly I've picked a winning formula. Okay, where the heck is the power thing? Do I have to bring it over from the other room completely? Oh, I think I do. Crap, and then it's gonna get really dark as soon as I do that. I'm not looking forward to that. Yep, right there. Okay. Oh, yes. Secured the subdeck perimeter. IEDs, plasma cutters, tripwires, survey charges. 3 injured, and Lingen is out of action. Her medications run out. Rest of the supplies are holding so far. Ammo, food, water, and thruster fuel. Even without the stuff for the SOS beacon. Wired external access from the mining bays are online now. Lingen unconscious. Nothing we can do. Entry 3. They broke through the floor vent. One of those flying fucks went right for Lingen's body, and then we were fighting 6 instead of 5. Cut them up and then shipped it all down to the smelters for quick cremation. Can't take any risks. Entry 4. Survey charge went off too soon. Lost Schlegel, Fike, and Zittel. Never seen the inside of a head before. Took them to the smelter to be cremated, then supply inventory. Can't sleep. Too dangerous here. Took some gear to the hole, up somewhere safer. McSweeney followed me, yelling about being selfish. Me? He was the one leading those things right to me. Update. Fix McSweeney. Visited smelter. Can't sleep. Entry 6. Can't sleep. Cold. Can hear the others yelling. They're gonna get me killed. Update. Lingen's right. I need peace and quiet, and the smelters need fuel. Creepy. Oh, there's a store there. I can get some weapons or whatever. I don't like the flamethrower though. I've got 3 nodes. Can I do anything with the plasma cutter? No. I don't do anything with my suit. Not that I want. Pulse rifle? No. Ripper. I could do capacity and damage for the Ripper. I mean, I kind of do need it. There's not a lot of damage ones on this one, though. Okay. Definitely gonna do the Ripper, because we want damage for sure. I don't really want air. I barely have any ammunition as it is. Do I really want to up my capacity? Okay, maybe I'll just save this one. I'll just save this one, I think. But we do have— whoa! Okay. I think it was just a glitch. I'm getting some weird glitches where, like, they're doing that thing that older games usually do, where, like, the physics will kick in as you get closer, so you see, like, a dead NPC float in the screen for a second. I swear I keep seeing that. Okay. Sell this for sure. We'll sell this. I don't even know how to use the oxygen, so I'm just gonna sell both of them. I still haven't picked up any weapons. Oh, wait, I want to buy some ammo. Hold on. How much health do I have? I've got 2 small things of health. That's not good. Okay, I'm gonna buy a big thing of health. Oh no, it's a small one. Never mind. But yeah, I have another small one. I definitely need a few of these. Definitely need a few of those. This would have been good to have, but I barely have any equipment as it is, so... yes. I was just complaining about the plasma cutter. Might as well. Okay. Okay. Ooh, and we got a node. Oh, yes! Damage! That's what I wanted. What's ruffle? What's rough? Rate of fire. Ooh, how quickly I can shoot. That's a good one. I got more damage, so I'm happy with that. I guess I'll do this capacity because I am gonna want the rough. So let's do this one. Okay. Cool. We got some progress here. We actually did something now. Okay, so that's where I want to go. That's the thing I want to grab. You know what? I think I'm going to buy a couple more ammo because I guarantee you I'm going to need it. Guarantee you. So let's just go for a few more. I've got enough for 2 more, I think. I got enough for 3, but we'll go for 2. Okay. So we've got quite a few bullets now. Here we go. Oh god, I knew it. I forgot to do that. Last week I was mentioning that I was going to take like a cheap mouse and keyboard and try plugging it into my Xbox because I suck at aiming in this game. That would have been worth it if I would have done that. Oh well. That's okay. That's okay. What's in here? Ooh, more items and stuff. Awesome. Oh, okay, that's the door. That's the door. Never mind. No need to panic. Don't worry. Okay, cool. I hear it. Was that the only one? Okay. Okay. I hate when it does that. That's so freaky. Every time it catches me off guard. Am I in focus? I might be out of focus a little bit. In focus. That's better. I know I shouldn't be exploring because it'll probably cause my death, but I can't help it.
Entering zero gravity.
You have figured out a plan?
The asteroid's held by a few gravity tethers. There's no emergency shutdown. I'll have to disable them the hard way. Got the SOS beacon on the surface.
Okay. Come on, that has to work.
Where'd the item go? Where'd the... What the heck? Uh-oh. That was dumb. My whatever was in that box is gone. Okay. Oh, I remember this. How do I plant it? How do I plant it? I went into the gravity thing. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Okay. That was my bad. That was my bad. My face is itchy. Okay. Thank you for the likes, everybody who's hitting the likes, by the way. I appreciate that. That's not what I meant to do at all. Move out of the way.
Entering zero gravity.
Move.
You have figured out a plan?
The asteroid's held by a few gravity tethers. There's no emergency shutdown. I'll have to disable it the hard way. Plant the SOS beacon on the surface.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I was supposed to do.
Gravity tether disengaged.
Where are you? I saw you. Where are you? Where are you, my sweet little potato? I can hear you. I just... Ah, there you are. I love that, like, as the game has progressed, they've gotten uglier. I actually don't think I'm playing on hard mode. I think I'm just playing on normal mode right now. But welcome, Dr. Bacon. How you doing? I think I'm just on normal mode. Yeah, I'm just on medium. I'm sure there was a really lame excuse I made for doing medium. I think... Okay, I'm gonna say that I left it up to the audience to choose. When I first started this game, I kind of told everybody, like, what do you think I should do? And they all suggested medium, so that way I could go back and play it on hard later. But I'm kind of glad I didn't go on hard, because I have been doing some really bad resource management. So, I've already, like, suffered, so I can't even imagine what it would be like on hard right now. What did they do for story mode? Like, is that like easy mode, I guess? See, I've been playing this since the launch, basically, and I haven't been paying much attention because I've been too busy talking. Dang it. There we go.
Interior gravity tethers offline. Exterior tethers at full power.
Okay, but now how do I plant this thing? It's lower than easy? Oh god. What's the point of even playing the game then?
Entering vacuum.
Come on. Oh, okay. Come on, move out of the way. You know, I'm all for, like, the games being accessible, and, like, if somebody just wants to play the story and they don't want to experience the difficulty, cool, whatever. But I think there's a limit to it. There's some games that just go so easy that at that point you might as well just watch a movie. I don't get it. Okay, so that was all the items in here, right? Okay. We'll go out here. For speed running and for media teams. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Entering vacuum.
I actually never thought of that. I'm part of the Deep Silver Collective, and I have to review games when they choose me to look at them. And I've always struggled with trying to beat the game. And most of the time for my reviews, I don't end up beating the game because, I mean, how? In like the 4 or 5 days they give me to see it. But yeah, I never thought of actually playing it on easy.
Gravity tether disengaged.
That would make so much more sense. Ah, I tried to rush it. That would make so much more sense. Next time they send me a key, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna play it on easy. If it's a game I'm not interested in. Okay, so since you're at the same spot as me, have you had the weird like loading glitch? This, you know how we have this loading screen, but the rest of the game doesn't have any loading screens? Have you had that loading screen glitch happen to you? If not, have you heard of it?
I figured out a plan.
The asteroid's held by a few gravity tethers. There's no emergency shutdown. I'll have to disable them the hard way. Plant the SOS beacon on the surface.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. The highest difficulty is definitely not for everyone. Even for me, I tend to not play on the highest difficulty for most games. I tend to play on somewhat more reasonable difficulties, you know, like medium, or if like there's like an extreme difficulty, I'll do the one between medium and extreme, or medium and hard, or whatever is out there. But sometimes I enjoy the hard difficulty, depending on what I'm doing, right? Like, the main reason I'll do hard is for streams, more than anything. Because, one, it makes the game more difficult, so it can be more fun to watch me fail. And two, when I'm playing a horror game, the difficulty adds that extra tension that I need. You played it 3 times. Okay, so I had it happen on my second or third stream. I had heard of it from my brother, but I hadn't heard any reviewer talk about it. And I've mentioned it a few times, and I keep saying I want to make a video on it, and I haven't. But basically what happens is, you know how it does that Ishimura symbol or whatever as it's loading up the assets after you've died? So what it does is, for some reason, the way that they've coded it, the AI comes to life before the game actually loads all the assets. And so if you die in the wrong spot, it'll load you next to one of the necromorphs, and the necromorph will kill you while the loading screen is on because you're not active yet, but the necromorph is, and your character is already loaded. So it'll kill your character, and then the second the screen finishes loading, you're on the death scene again. And it just sticks you in that instant loop. It is so frustrating. Sunflower, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate that. I am playing on Xbox. I'm playing on Xbox because I am streaming here on TikTok, but I'm also live on YouTube and Twitch. So 2 instances of the stream, I felt that I was going to have to reduce the graphics too much. And this is the kind of game that I don't really play on my own. I would only ever play it on stream. I love horror games, but it's not as fun getting scared when you're by yourself versus getting scared in front of public. I think it's funnier. So I got it for the Xbox so I could experience full graphics without bogging my computer down too much. But yeah, so it gets stuck in that endless loop. And so basically the only choice you have is to like fully quit the game and reload from a checkpoint or a part that you saved in. It's a really weird oversight because when I'm playing, I have this on really, really loud so I can hear all like the scary things. Plus I get jump scares and stuff, and the louder it is, the more startling it is. But I can actually hear really quietly in the background the monster attacking me, and the controller is vibrating. So you can feel it and you can hear it, but you can't do anything about it. And I tried like trying to push my buttons to see if maybe, even if I can't see it, my character can at least move. Nope, never worked. It's really frustrating. It is the weirdest load glitch ever. I don't know if they had a hardcore mode. I wouldn't be surprised. They usually have hardcore modes in a lot of games. But yeah, it's what I did with Resident Evil 2, the remake. When that came out, I played the game on normal as Claire. Then I did the B scenario in hardcore. Then I went back and did the A scenario in hardcore as well. So it gave me a reason to go back and play the game a second time. And yeah, adding that extra difficulty just adds a little bit more tension, which then in turn makes the game feel fresh, even though it's not. Because for the longest time on this channel, I've done horror at least once a week, so I try to keep things mixed up because there's only so many games that are actually scary. There's a lot of really bad games out there, and there's a lot of games that don't hit the right chords for me. Like this one, for some reason, doesn't really scare me, but the original Dead Space did. So I don't know, but I've started new ADHD medications. I think that's kind of messing with how I react to things. But like I played, oh god, I can't remember what it's called anymore. Crap. They made 2 of them. It was the guy that did Resident Evil. He made this game, and you're some like cop guy. Anyways, a lot of people said the first one was scary. I thought the first one was scary for like the first hour, and then after that it just became kind of dull, and so I never beat it. And it was disappointing, even though everybody else thought it was scary. But then there's games that like terrify me that other people don't think are scary. So I always like bounce around with what horror games I'm playing. So when I find one that I actually like, I try to, you know, milk it as much as I can, because I know there's not very many options for me out there. But yeah, so yeah, I'm playing on Xbox mainly because I wanted the ray tracing and stuff without my PC being completely destroyed by streaming. Because I got Elden Ring given to me, and I bought that on PC, and I'm enjoying it, but I have to really turn down the graphics for it to run okay on my computer while I'm streaming. Like, when I'm offline, I can play max graphics, no problem, but as soon as I stream, I can't. And I only really ever play the game when I'm streaming because I want the full blind reaction to it. So I haven't bought it, Resident Evil 4, for two reasons. So backstory, I wasn't interested in Resident Evil 4. I thought it was just a money grab. And you know how Capcom has a bit of like a hit and miss record over the last like 15 years, where something can be really amazing and then they release the next one and it just really sucks. And so like they did really well with Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 3 was short, but it was still pretty good. And Resident Evil 7 was good, Resident Evil 8 was good. I was like, I'm scared 4 is going to be such a cash grab that it's just not going to be worth it. So I was against it. Then Callisto Protocol came out. Oh, they announced it, and I thought that was gonna, not Callisto Protocol. Then it came out, and like the ads and stuff, and I thought it looked really, really good. I replayed the VR version. I want to play the new one. So the reason I haven't gotten it yet is because when it came out, I didn't get paid on time. Work fell behind with payments, and so I didn't have the money to buy it when it launched. But I'm waiting to get the PSVR, and so since I missed the initial dates that it came out, and now I've kind of just waited, I figure I can wait a little bit longer, and I'm just going to wait till the PSVR 2 is in my hands and they release the patch, and then I'm going to get it. Because I want to, again, going back to being scared, I played Resident Evil 7 in VR, and then I played Resident Evil 8 on flat screen, and I thought Resident Evil 7 was way scarier than 8. But it seems like a lot of people agree that 8 is scarier than 7. But I think I found 7 scarier because it was in VR, and 8 wasn't, so I didn't find 8 as scary. So I don't want that to happen with Resident Evil 4. So I'm going to wait to play it fully in VR so I can get the full fear factor out of it, instead of playing it flat screen, then going back and revisiting in VR and kind of knowing what to expect. So I'm not checking at it. I'm not checking anything on it. Like, I'm not looking at reviews. I'm not watching gameplay. If my friends are streaming it, I instantly turn away because I don't want to know anything about it for that reason. Yeah, so I never beat the OG 3. My brother was a big fan of 3. I never beat it, not for any particular reason. I just never got around to playing it. I watched him play it quite a bit, and I really liked what I saw. I'm a big fan of like the classic Resident Evil trilogy, and so when I played 3, I thought it was a good game. It just didn't have the impact that 2 had, because 2 really felt like a brand new game with a classic story. 3, on the other hand, felt like DLC to me. So I think it was good, but yeah, I don't think it was as good as the original, and it didn't feel like a 3. It felt like DLC. It just felt rushed. But apparently, from all the rumors, and obviously they were true, it was because they were rushing to get working on Resident Evil 4, or they had cut the team to get them started on Resident Evil 4 or something. And it seems like it was worth it, because apparently 4 is amazing. But yeah, 3 felt like DLC, which is kind of disappointing. I did think it was good, it just wasn't what I was hoping it would be, if that makes sense. See, and I liked the Resident Evil 1 remake. I definitely liked the tank controls and stuff, but I felt that what 2 did was find that perfect balance between action and horror. 1, I felt, was much more horror oriented because it was tank controls. They still hadn't really done the over the shoulder stuff. And it was phenomenal. But I just felt like, I guess maybe it's a big bias on my side. This is 100% on me, not a good opinion, I know for sure. But I'm a big graphics... I'm a graphics slut. I guess you could say. If a game is really pretty, I can overlook a lot of issues. And Resident Evil 2 Remake was very pretty. And Resident Evil 1 is showing its age. It's still very pretty, but it's showing its age. So I think that skews my perception, because I didn't actually play the remake of 1 until about 2 years ago. I never bothered getting it because I played the original one. And I actually never beat that one either. I was too scared. But yeah, so I think I'm just skewed in that aspect. But I did really enjoy 2. I really enjoyed 1. 3, like I said, it felt like a DLC. I'm excited for 4. From everything I've seen and heard, it's supposed to be amazing, but I want to get the full-blown experience with like proper VR and really feel it, because to me, Resident Evil 4, the original, was not the best in the series, which a lot of people seem to think it was like the crowning jewel. For me, it was the 4th as far as like how good it was. It was nowhere near the top. Way too action-oriented. It was tacky, but not in like the B horror movie tacky. It was in the tacky trying to take itself too seriously realm for me. And a big part of it for me was just that I'm a zombie fan. I didn't like the bug people thing. So that was just, it wasn't the best game for me. That being said, playing it in VR definitely won back a lot of points for me and made it a much more enjoyable game for me. That's why I want to play this remake with VR, because I played the demo and they definitely feel much more like zombies. Still bug people, but they feel like zombies. So I just feel like in VR, it would just be perfection. And I think it would overthrow Resident Evil 2 for me. I think. I don't know what the zap system is. Did they actually cut the different endings? I don't remember. Because I just played through it. I didn't look into like the different endings and stuff. I remember that the other one had different endings, but I don't remember. I don't know about the remake. But yeah, and 7. There's no hottie here. There's no hottie here. Just me with a lot of pimples on my face. Hey, Girl Thulu. Wait, hold on. What did I wait, well, hold on. I didn't even see you guys were there. Hold on. What am I being mocked for? What am I being mocked for? Hold on. What? I'm a big graphics. I'm a graphics slut, I guess you could say. Damn it, now it's going to go down in history forever. Oh, okay. That's what it was called. Okay. See, I didn't know that it had that terminology. Which is sad because Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Yeah, no, I did notice that. Because I remember that you had to be wise if you were going to play it the second time. Mind you, in the OG one, I never actually played the B-side. Ever. Just because back then, I've always been a gamer, but I was never like super... It was very rare that I was like really into a game enough to like learn the mechanics and stuff. So like once I beat Resident Evil 2 with one of them, I didn't want to play it ever again. I was never the kind of person to replay games growing up. I only do it now because of the stream. So I knew that you could pick stuff up and it wasn't available in the second story, but I never actually experienced it. So it wasn't something that stuck out to me in the remake. But yeah, that's kind of dumb that they got rid of it. It's kind of dumb. Falcon, how you doing, man? How's it going? 7 is totally scarier. Yeah, Dr. Bacon. That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. Girl Thulu caught me saying that I'm a slut. I know your dreams came true with hearing that. I know they did. OnlyFans coming up. OnlyFans. It's gonna be pictures of all the beautiful graphics that have won me over. That's all it's gonna be. It'll be like a screenshot of like a really graphically beautiful game, and I'll like Photoshop a pair of underwear to it in the corner. That'll be my OnlyFans. Oh man. Okay, where's the? There it is. Oh, there's ammo here, or something. Anyway, come here. Come here. Are you kidding me? Oh, all for that? Really? come on, come on. What the heck? Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm gonna die. Slot detector went off. I hear a slot. I hear a slot. Time to come on and point it out. What the heck, man? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh god, it didn't work. I'm gonna die. Yep, I died. Yeah, I didn't like that Mr. X was in both A and B because I never saw Mr. X. Never saw Mr. X. The only reason I knew he existed, one, in high school, my friends talked about it, but two, because I was like, oh god, I must have been like 12-ish when I first experienced Resident Evil 2, maybe a little bit younger, between 9 and 12, somewhere in there. And I used to go visit my aunt in New York every summer. My family would go out there, and she had a son, has a son. He's quite a few years older than me. I want to say he's like 10 years older than me. Between 5 and 10 years older than me, but he was a teenager when I was there. And I remember he would be in the basement and I would hear him screaming. But I knew it was Resident Evil because I could hear the sound effects, and I have the sound effects memorized. That's one of the like my idiosyncrasies is sounds. I can almost memorize sounds. It's really hard for me when I'm listening to something like a cartoon where they repeat the same sound and you're not supposed to know, but it's really obvious to me. Or like I'm watching Hell's Kitchen right now, and it's really annoying when somebody says something and then they're trying to show like how dramatic a moment is, like somebody burned something and somebody will say something and then the person will react and then they'll repeat the exact same clip. It's not like the person repeated what they said. They just repeat the exact same clip to make it sound like they doubled down. So things like that really bother me. But anyways, I could hear him playing Resident Evil. I could hear him screaming downstairs. So I knew, and he told me about like, there's this big monster that comes after you. So I knew of his existence, but I didn't experience him with the original game. But yeah, I felt it was kind of anticlimactic to see him in the first playthrough when he's supposed to be a special thing for the second playthrough. With those things, yeah, they definitely took away some of the specialness of the game for sure. As far as do I think they're gonna make a Dead Space 2? I don't know. I don't see why not. This one seems to have done really well as far as like critical acclaim. I don't know how the sales went. I haven't really paid attention to the sales charts for this game. But as far as like the critical acclaim that I've seen, it's done really well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a second one. You never know. These companies are so strange with the decisions they make, right? Sometimes you think a game did phenomenally and they'll just never release it again. Or sometimes a game does horribly yet it gets like 4 sequels. Seven, I hope you're doing okay. Hope life is treating you well. It's so loud in my ears.
Gravity tether disengaged.
I can't hit you. Why don't I see any of the bomb things? I thought I pulled one down. There it is. Where are you, homie? There's supposed to be 2 of you. Did you both die coming after me? Is that what happened? They both died. No, they didn't. That's him. Where's the other one? Man, I lost the ammo and everything. Girl Thulu, I hope that the move is going okay.
Interior gravity tethers
There it is.
offline. Exterior tethers at full power.
I don't know if you're lurking. Don't answer if you're busy doing stuff and just lurking away. But I hope your move is going okay. Go, 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 go.
Entering vacuum.
That's all you got time for. Doesn't it suck? Being responsible can like be such a buzzkill sometimes. You know, I've had a lot more time now, but there was a while there where like I didn't have time for anything, and it really sucked because anything I enjoyed was just not happening, and it was heartbreaking. Come on. There we go.
Gravity tether disengaged.
Because like you need time for yourself. As far as reading goes, that's not something I've ever really had a good time with. Whoa! Crap! Dakota, how's it going? You didn't get the notification. Damn it, Twitch. That's it, I'm leaving for kick. That's it. Anyways, I've always struggled with reading. Dr. Bacon, this is what I'm talking about. This scene right here. This loading thing. The necromorph would load, kill you. You could feel it in your controller as it attacked you, and then this would happen, and you'd be dead. It really sucks. That weird load glitch. But yeah, I have a hard time with reading. And I've said it many times on stream, but it's not even like the actual act of reading. Like it's not like I find reading hard or anything. What I struggle with is the actual like action of sitting down, reading, and not being distracted. I have to be like insanely enveloped in a book to really want to read it. But even if I find a book that I'm like super enveloped in, there's... Where are you? I hear you. I don't see you. There you are. Even if it's a book that I'm like super into, I get distracted too easily, and then I end up reading the same line like 5 or 6 times, or like I end up reading the same page 4 or 5 times because I get to the end of it and I don't actually know what I read because I wasn't really paying attention. Like I was reading the words, but I wasn't comprehending what they meant. And so it gets really frustrating for me to read a book when, you know, I get through the whole page and I get to the end of it and I feel like I read it, but then I turn to the next page and it'll be like, and Jimmy's cat. I'm like, where the hell did this cat come from? But it was in like the middle of the last page. And so it's like I have to go back and then read the whole page again to figure out what the hell happened to this cat, and then I can keep going. Or I'll do the, I don't know if you ever saw, what's his name? I want to say his first name's Gary. He's a comedian that became a school teacher, but he does comedy on like students and stuff, and he talks about reading, and he does the thing where it's like, and then the dumb kid has to read, and then it's like the kid that's like, and then the BR like the honey, and then he loses where he's reading and reads the same line, and then the BR like the honey. I'm that kind of person. Like I'll read the line and go back and read it again, and I won't recognize it until like halfway through because I wasn't paying attention to what I was reading. So then I struggle with reading, so then I don't enjoy it. Audiobooks are the way for me to go. And even with audiobooks, the beauty is I can go back and listen to it a second and a third time, and I'll learn new things every time because I zone in and out. So there are times that I've read a book 4 or 5 times, and on the 5th time I'm still learning something new that I'm like, oh my god, I didn't realize that happened, because I didn't get distracted that time. It's one of the symptoms, Falcon. It's one of the symptoms. I wouldn't say it's a symptom, but it's one of like the common things. For me, it's just I need to be really, really concentrated to read without losing what I'm doing. It's one of the bad habits I have as an actor, but it's also one of the really good habits I have as an actor, because when you memorize a script, a lot of people have this idea that you memorize the script in a way like you're gonna say it exactly the same way every time, and you memorize it like with the actions like to be or not to be, and every time I'm gonna say to be, I'm gonna lift my arm up, and not to be, I'll lift my other arm up. Whereas like true acting is about making it natural, making it something that is happening in that moment. So you're gonna say the line the same way, but not because you memorize it that way, but because what you're trying to achieve is the same thing, right? And so basically, like, I know if I'm having an argument with my wife in the scene, my whole point of the argument is that I want her to let me go out and drink. And so I know that's what my goal is, and every time I deliver the line, I know that's what I'm trying to get out of her, so I'll say it pretty much the same way every time. So it's a benefit as an actor because I'm not paying attention. So I just kind of let my body take over. I've already trained it that that's what I'm trying to get out of her. So I'll just do it. So my fellow actors kind of know what to expect from me. And I'm pretty steady with how I'm delivering lines. It's also a huge benefit because if somebody else screws up their lines, or if somebody forgets where they're going with it, or they throw a curveball, it sticks out like a sore thumb for me. So I'm able to really quickly pick up on that they're doing it differently, and I can quickly start reacting to it. Whereas other actors memorize and then they'll ignore kind of what's happening around them, and it's hard for them to keep up when something goes bad. The downside is that I don't pay attention, and so memorizing is really hard for me when it comes to doing a play. By the end of like rehearsals, we're all supposed to be off book. There are times where it's like 2 nights before we're ready to go on stage and I'm still holding the book in my hand because I don't know all my lines yet, because I get distracted too easily. So it's one of the common traits, but it's not necessarily a symptom. But it's something that I struggle with, and I've always struggled with it. I was always really bad at reading. I've always been a very good reader. I'm just not very good at absorbing what is being read. And it's kind of what happens. Again, a good trait is that I can read really well. And because I can't absorb what I'm reading, I don't read a script and kind of have ideas already placed in my mind. So I'm very good at cold reading, it's called. It's where they hand you a script for an audition and they just say, read this, you're going to act with this person. This scene is you are in a fight with your dad. Go. And so I'm able to just kind of read and go with it without, absorbing what I'm reading and just kind of reacting in the moment. So it's a really strong skill to have. But then in things like school, I would read a whole page from a book and then I'd get asked a question and I had no idea what they were asking me about because I didn't pick up on any of the names, or I didn't pick up any of the locations. It can be really frustrating. That's the part I struggle with is getting it all to kind of meld together, which is something that I can't do. No, I'm not dyslexic. I'm just not, I don't pay attention. That's just all it is. And it's not just with reading, it's just in general, I don't pay attention. Like one of the big things that I've always struggled with is I'm really good with faces, really bad with names. Like insanely bad with names. I have friends that I have known for a very long time and I don't know their real name, despite them having told me it. I did healthcare, home care, taking care of people in their homes. There are people that I don't know their first name that I took care of for years and I didn't know their first name. I knew their last name because that's what would show up on my sheet, but I didn't know their first name. Or like their wife would be there and I didn't know her name at all. I just knew she was his wife. So if I saw her on the street, I knew who she was. No idea what her name was, even after years. And sometimes I'd get calls from the office and be like, hey, Timothy, I don't know, I never had a Timothy, but like a Timothy wants to know this and this. I'm like, who the hell's Timothy? I'm like, what time is their visit at? And then they would tell me and it's, oh, okay, this person. Okay, I got it. So I've always been bad with that, but no, I'm not dyslexic. I don't pay attention. And so I absorb different things. I pay attention to really stupid things. And so it's like, again, it's really stuff that isn't as important to the rest of the world, right? Like if I'm, but we were watching Rings of Power on Prime, and the person I was watching it with, they're really, really into the Lord of the Rings, and they started naming a bunch of characters, and I watched Lord of the Rings when I was like 17, 16. I had no idea who they were talking about. And so eventually I went back and listened to the audiobooks of all the Lord of the Rings, plus all the Hobbit series stuff. And then they would talk to me about it. And they'd be like, oh my God, and that part where so-and-so did this. I was like, which one is so-and-so? And they'd be like, so-and-so. And I'm like, but was that like, is that like I know the main characters, like I knew Frodo and I knew Sam, but then like, I can't remember which one Merry and Pippin are, like which character is which character. Or like any of the people from Gondor, don't remember any of their names. There was a really long time while I was listening to the audiobook that I thought one of them that they were talking about was, I don't even remember her real name, Liv Tyler. I thought it was her in the movie. I thought that was the character they were talking about. And then like at the end of their little saga, I found out that that wasn't who they were talking about. And I had no idea who that character was, despite them using the name. And I had no idea. So like, that's the kind of person I am, is I don't pay attention to that. But When I'm watching a TV show, I am constantly on my phone looking up who the actor is, what other movies they've been in, what shows they've been in. So it's like I'm paying attention to who the actor is when I should be paying attention to who the story is, what the story is. So that's where I get stuck, and it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks because obviously I miss out a lot of stuff. It also really sucks because when I look back at stuff that I've done as an actor, I don't remember most of the plots, which really sucks because there's shows that I've done that I was in love with and I can't remember the full plot. Like I just watched A Chorus Line, which is a musical about a bunch of dancers auditioning for a show. I did that show. It's one of the shows that I was the most proud of because I'm not a dancer and I was able to at least somewhat fake it. A real dancer would know that I sucked, but for the average Joe, it was like, oh, you did okay. And I just watched it again for the first time. I did it like 7 or 8 years ago. I watched it again for the first time. I had forgotten like the whole second half of the show. Completely forgot about it. And not because of any like particular reason. I was in it. I completely forgot it. So it's like I pay attention to the really weird stuff, yet I could still sing most of the songs and all the harmonies that I did, but I didn't remember the show. I don't know. My brain is crazy. Yeah, I have ADHD. I have ADHD, and I don't like to say because I haven't gotten the official diagnosis, but there's a very hard hint that I'm on the spectrum. But ADHD, fully diagnosed. But I got diagnosed as an adult. So it was something that I never ever dealt with until now. I mentioned it right when you first came in that I usually get really scared in games, and this one hasn't done it for me, but I'm on new meds. It's because I got a diagnosis for ADHD as an adult, and so I started medication while I was on my streaming break. So before that, I wasn't on meds, and I would do scary streams, and I would jump scare and freak out all the time. Since the break, and now that I've come back, I've been on these medications, and now I don't get scared as much as I used to. Jump scares in the ear, like the donation jump scares, still get me, but in game, I'm not getting as scared as I used to. I don't know if that's the meds though. But yeah, the ADHD thing is what has my brain kind of scattered all the time. My dad said in school he'd only read the right page and hoped up that something. That's funny, Dakota. How long have I known you? You have 7, and you're one of the people that for some reason I can't remember your name. And I don't know why. It's like the dumbest thing. Because I am horrendous with names, and it's really embarrassing sometimes. But this is like the neurotypical thing where like I don't get it, but I think part of it is because I can never remember names. Is it really bugs me when people use my name when they talk to me? Really bugs me unless they're like really close to me. But I hate when people use my name because I never use anybody's name. and I think I never use anybody's name because I can never remember it. But I'm bad for that. I'm bad for that. You have dyslexia, yeah, and dyslexia can be really hard. Dyslexia can be really, really hard. I not thankfully or luckily, but like I've never had to have that struggle with dyslexia. I struggle with numbers, but it's never been detrimental. It's been problematic. I'm really, really bad with like mixing up phone numbers or mixing up like address numbers. The amount of times I had ordered food and never got it, and then I'd get a call from like the Uber guy or whatever, and I had put in my own address the wrong way because I had swapped 2 of the numbers, and the number I would put in didn't exist on my street. But of course they couldn't deliver it to me because the address was wrong, so I'd have to cancel the order and redo the order, so then that doubled the time I had to wait. Just because I screw up the order the numbers go in. I can read them just fine, I just always screw them up when I'm writing them down. It sucks. Oh, sorry, Retro, my bad. It's not just on stream. It's not just on stream. Don't worry. It just always like, it's not that I don't like it, like it makes me mad. It's just one of those like, oh, that feels weird. That feels weird using my name. Because nobody uses my name. And so I'm not used to it. Mind you, I haven't socialized really in years, so I'm not used to people saying my name. And the socializing I did was on stage, and they almost always just referred to me by my character name. So it was easier that way. There was also like this weird thing. So like my name is Luis, right? But most people said my name wrong. And so to make life easier, when I was about 14 and I started like trying to act more neurotypical and like masked and stuff, I started going by Louis because it was just easier instead of having to constantly correct people. Because I was trying to be cool and liked, I didn't want to correct the people that would say my name wrong. So instead of them saying my name wrong and me just kind of dealing with it, I just decided to go by Louis instead. And so like my school friends knew me as Luis because that's what the teachers called me. But everybody outside of that knew me as Louis. And the people I hung out with after school knew me as Louis. And then I went to college, and my school friends, there were a couple of them that went to the same college as me. They would make fun of me because I was going by Louis, and they felt that it was really fake. Except I went by Louis everywhere except for school. So for them, it was really weird. Like, I mean, it was to the point where like my own brother calls me Louis. And so like it was just the name that it became common for me to be called. It's like my brother, his name's Rodrigo. I call him Rigo. And so like that's just how we go. But eventually I got into theater after I finished theater school, and everybody just called me by my stage name, like my character name. And the people at work called me Louis because I just went by that. So when people call me Luis, it feels very personal and it feels weird because nobody calls me that. Like only my mom and dad call me that now. But I don't really socialize anymore, so I'm not around people who call me Luis anymore. I'm gonna try to be getting back into it, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it is. Even now with streaming, almost nobody calls me by my name. It's really weird. I changed my name on TikTok to now show my name. But it's, and mainly because I had made a few videos and I was getting a whole bunch of comments of like the woke agenda. I was like, okay, well, if I put my ethnic name out there, maybe they'll stop being, you know, stupid on my comments. And it stopped. But the fact that my name is there now more people refer to me by my name, and it feels weird still. But like streaming wise, everybody calls me Retro, and it's just kind of what I've stuck to. So it's always weird. It's always really weird. You can read schematics. That's the thing. When you have a struggle like dyslexia, ADHD, any of that kind of stuff, it's very clearly it's a disabling factor, because obviously not being able to read fluently and smoothly without, you know, getting caught up can lead to problems, right? Like in school when you were younger, it could have led to problems, misreading things, or like embarrassment and all that kind of stuff. When you're older, depending on your job, in medications, being dyslexic is a really, really troublesome thing, because a lot of medications can sound very similar. And if you misread one medication, that could be somebody's life. At the same time, that exact struggle can make you very strong in other ways, which then almost makes that struggle a strength. With me, with the acting thing, I am obviously not very good at the whole socializing thing. I don't really understand how humans interact fully. You know, a lot of it just, I get it because I've memorized what's okay and what isn't, and what's cool and what isn't. But at the same time, you know, I don't fully grasp why. There are things that I'm like, I don't understand why that bothers you. You know what I mean? And so like, now as an adult, I understand why I think that way, but before I didn't understand why nobody else thought that way. Like, I used to always be really confused as to why everybody acted and talked a certain way, like pretending to be cool, when they were in private. How can I explain it? Like, there's slang, right? Like, I'm a millennial, so the slang I use is very different than the slang that's around nowadays. But when I was a teenager and stuff, there were certain slang words that we used. How do I get back down? And we would talk with that slang, right? But then I'd go and hang out with my friends, and I just couldn't understand why my friends still used that like fake, yo, what up, man? And we'd shake hands and like, you know, do the whole like chest bumping hug thing where we tap each other on the back. And I'm just like, why are we still doing this when there's nobody around to think that we're cool? Like, why don't we just like talk normal? And why are we like talking only about boobs when like we're just hanging out? There's nobody to like show that we're manly to, so why are we doing this? I didn't understand that they weren't putting on an act, that's just who they were. I was putting on an act because I thought everybody put on an act, and that's how you became cool. I never grasped that people were just cool. They weren't like putting it on. Obviously, as teenagers, you're insecure, you kind of put it on or whatever. But there's like a certain human way of acting that I just thought was an act, and I didn't understand why nobody else acted that way when they were behind closed doors. And so like I've gotten really good at analyzing how people like to act. So going back to the whole it being a superpower, it's helped me a lot with the acting, because I can analyze people, I can really portray certain characters without even trying. The drawback that I'm working on now is that because I have that barrier where I don't fully comprehend normal society expectations, when I'm acting it out on stage, I feel like it's really fake. But it's because I don't get it. So of course I'm going to feel like it's fake, because it's not me being me, but me being me wouldn't be realistic. So that's kind of one of the things, but it's given me the superpower of being able to analyze how to act without having to really connect with my character, which in turn is a benefit, because sometimes it's really hard when you're playing a character that's nothing like you and you can't connect with them. So it's definitely got its benefits when you've got certain struggles in your life. Like I said, I'm really bad with names, which sucks when you're in the theater world, because if I meet a director and stuff, I can't clue into who they are. But when I see their face, I can recognize them. I had a whole conversation with this guy who was doing like a radio play, and he wanted to work with me. He was working with one of my good friends. I never ended up working with him. But the whole time I was like, I'm really excited because he's a professional actor. That's all I knew from him, that he was a professional actor. And I was really excited, and we got to talking, and I was like, he looks familiar and I don't know what he's from. He looks so familiar and I don't know what he's from. And of course I embarrassed myself because we're talking, and somehow we got onto the subject of like movies and stuff, and then he mentioned a movie he was in, and I was like, he didn't mention that he was in it. He was just talking about a movie in general. And it was Dawn of the Dead, the 2002 remake. One of my all-time favorite movies ever. And I was like, that's one of my favorite movies. He goes, I was in it. And I'm like, wait, who were you? I'm thinking he's going to tell me he was like a zombie or whatever. And he's like, no, I was the guy that wore the high heels and cuts the girl in half with the chainsaw. I was like, oh my God, you're a very specific character that stands out in the story. I recognize his face because that was one of the characters I really liked, but I didn't clue in because I didn't know the actor's name, and I didn't know. And obviously when he's not in makeup and it's been, 7 or 8 years, he obviously doesn't look exactly the same. But I embarrassed myself because obviously I'm saying it's my favorite movie, yet I didn't realize he was in it. So sometimes it's a drawback sometimes. Andrew Bites, right now I am playing Dead Space. I'm kind of blathering on, but I'm supposed to be playing Dead Space. How are you doing today? All right, Falcon, have a good night. See you later. You feel weird when people call you anything other than Seven? Yeah, I don't feel it so much in real life, but I do definitely feel it when I talk to people online, Seven. I do feel it, even like using somebody's name. If I refer to somebody by their real name on a regular basis, there's a couple of people that I pretty much only refer to them by their real name, but then they'll pop into the stream, and then I feel really weird calling them by their real name or by their screen name, because I only call them by their real name. But I don't want to call them by their real name because, like, I don't want to put out their real name in case they haven't used it or whatever.
Zero gravity.
But in real life, mind you, again, I don't really socialize, so I don't really see people. I mean, hell, I've been at this whole streaming thing for 7 years, just about. Actually, it might have been my 7-year anniversary. Holy crap, did I miss that? I might have missed that. Oh, no. Okay, hold on, now I gotta check. content. Live. Date. I did by 2 weeks. My very first stream, anyways. My very first stream was 6 years ago. 2 weeks ago, 6 years ago. My very first stream ever. So 6 years ago. I thought I was on 7, but it's 6 years. This is year 7 now. Oh my gosh. 6 years ago. Videos. My very first video was... Okay, so this one was 8 years ago, and that's going to be in 2 weeks. In 3 weeks. 8 years ago in 3 weeks. So I've been doing content for 8 years. And I've been streaming for 6. Dead Space... The remake, Andrew, the remake. And I'm good. I'm really good. Yeah, the original actually looks... It really holds up quite well. When I heard about this, I was very much like... When I saw the game clips and stuff, I was very much of the mentality of like, okay, it's... Where am I? Destroy Tether 2, but what's Tether 2? Uh-oh. I was very much of the mentality of like, the number one, like the original looks okay. Why would they have to remake it? And then I saw the footage and I was kind of like, all right, like it looks better, but not like, not insanely better. But once you see them side by side, it's a night and day difference. It's really, really shocking how much better this one looks. But that's just a testament to how good the, okay, so how do I actually destroy the tether though? But it's a testament to show how good it looks when, even though it doesn't look as good, it still in your mind looks good. You know what I mean? Yeah, I keep pausing and talking because I don't shut up. Because I don't shut up. Oh crap, no. But yeah, when I first, like the first few clips that I watched, I was kind of like, yeah, it looks better, but not enough for it to justify this. And then it came out. And then I saw the side-by-side pictures and I was like, okay, yeah, no, it's very, 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 like, upgraded. You're me, 7. Yeah. What was I saying about doing content for so long? I don't remember where I was even going with that. There we go. Okay, is this gonna open up to let me through, or is it gonna be... Oh. Okay, I guess it's not moving anymore. Where... What? Oh, right there. Okay. It's okay. Chill out, dude. But yeah, I've been doing content for a really long time. Oh, that's what I was getting at. I've been doing content now, obviously making videos for 8 years, doing streams for 6, and I've never once been recognized. Never once have I had somebody actually recognize me. I met somebody who has followed me on TikTok, but that was a deliberate meeting. Like, they knew I was at the place that they were going to be at, and we met up. But I haven't actually like been walking down the street and have somebody recognize who I was, because I don't socialize. And I also still wear a mask when I'm out on the street. So, or not on the street, but when I'm anywhere, you know, in a building or whatever. So it's not as easy to recognize me either. But I don't know how I would react if I met somebody, depending on what they would call me. Like, if I'd be embarrassed if they called me retro in real life. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh, crap. Go. Oh, this is intense. I wish I was playing this not on stream, only because my capture card doesn't do HDR. And so I can't see the full benefit of this. I've been really tempted to buy a capture card that does... Whoa! Oh, he did it again! The physics thing. He did the physics thing again. Oh, did I? Oh, crap. I did it again. Okay. We gotta go back and get the power source thing. Behemoth, hello. No worries. Go and lurk away. Thank you for popping in, though. I appreciate it. Anyways, I was saying I've been really tempted to get a capture card that does HDR just so I can experience games in HDR without affecting the stream too much. Whoa, because right now what is happening is I am... Okay. I am having to play in regular standard dynamic range because the capture card just doesn't pick it up at all. My monitor does it, but the capture card doesn't pick it up. And so, like, I'm missing out on just that little bit of extra range. Mind you, my monitor isn't very good for HDR. It does it, but it's only like 400 nits, so it's not... It's like at the bare minimum. But my TV does closer to 700 nits, and that would have gotten it way more. I had done this stream originally from the TV, but because I didn't get the HDR, it just wasn't worth it. Okay. Let's do this. Launch from... Oh, over there.
It's working. The beacon's online, broadcasting wide band.
I hope the volume isn't too loud, everybody. I apologize if it is.
This will take a minute. Head on back to the tram station.
So, uh-oh.
Hazardous anomaly
Oh.
Quarantine activated.
Oh, what the heck? It's this guy again?
Quarantine shit with that country there. The system can't lift the lockdown.
Override the manual door release!
I'll try. Damn it! The explosion's right half the circuit. Almost there. Hold it off. I got it. Hit the manual release.
Manual release is ready.
Oh, oh, oh! Come on.
Manual release is ready.
Damn it. Try the door now.
Hurry, hurry! Oh god, they're coming! Oh god! There's so many of them! Hold on, I'm not paying attention right now. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm too busy screaming. Am I even going the right way? I don't even know. Okay. Oh, I'm almost out of ammo. Okay, thank goodness. Okay. Oh, I hear him. I hear him. Go away. Go away. Run, dude. Hurry. Oh, he's right there. Okay, what I was saying... Oh, never mind. Hold on. Story's
I
important.
can't be sure. The system's bugged out again. I'm getting those camera glitches. The ones that look like my brother. Waving at me. At least the beacon's away. I'm aligning the... Wait. Array receiver not responding. Oh shit.
The comms array. We never fixed it. So what's the broken encoder?
Then let's hope that 48 hours estimate was wrong too. No comms, no rescue. Take the tram to the bridge. I'll hack open the door to communications. You see what's happening with the array. And don't worry about Nicole. Like Hammond said, she'll do the smart thing.
This is the problem. I wasn't paying attention. I don't remember what I'm supposed to be worried about Nicole for. I don't remember. Whoa. Oh, crap. I don't remember what they intend me to be worried about. Oh, it's still alive. I thought it was just glitching out. Okay. But yeah, one of the things that I've noticed, I've been multi-streaming for the last, like, month. About a month. And it's... I don't know what to think about it because, one, I'm kind of breaking the rules a little bit because from what I've been informed from much smarter, much more diligent people than myself, it's that when it comes to Twitch, they've allowed you to multi-stream as a partner and only for like short form websites like TikTok, not for YouTube. That apparently affiliates are kind of in that gray area. They didn't fully say yes, but they didn't fully say no. But either way, like the terms of use say something along the lines of like for short form for like funneling people in, it's allowed, but to actually stream fully on that site, it's not allowed. I don't know. Either way, I don't really care about my affiliate, so whatever. But what I have noticed that is a definite drawback, which is something that I had always kind of said from the start, and this just kind of confirms it. There's a real big issue with multi-streaming when it comes to numbers, because it's really hard to sell numbers to companies, big companies, because they're not really interested in looking at the 5 or 6 places that you're streaming, 3 or 4 places, whatever. They want to know the numbers of each individual place, and those aren't as impressive, right? Like I just signed up for one company. I'm one of their content creators. Like I'm one of their representatives or whatever. And when they ask for my numbers, they pretty much only look at Twitch. And my Twitch numbers are not very impressive. As of right now, it shows that my average concurrent viewers are like at about 9. But when you look at the breakdown of my streams, it's because I end up doing like 2 streams at about 14 or 15 viewers, and then I do my Thursday stream. Right now it says I've got 4, and I don't know if that's all 4 on Twitch or if it's, you know, 1 on YouTube and 3 on Twitch or what. Because I'm restreaming. And so that like dips my numbers drastically. But I can't be like, yeah, it says that, but I've also got like 4 or 5 watching on TikTok, so it's actually more like 9 or 10 that night. So multi-streaming can almost be a hindrance. I mean, it's hard to kind of drive people to come watch your stream when they're on one platform and the stream is on a different platform. You know, like a lot of my followers are on TikTok, so it's really hard to kind of be like, hey guys, come to Twitch and watch me. At the same time, by giving everybody the option to watch on the platform they want, it's very hard for me to combine all the numbers so I can sell it more to companies. So I don't think I'm fully sold on the multi-streaming thing, but I'm continuing it for now because I'm not streaming consistently enough. I'm still very, very short on my streams. I'm still very inconsistent with how often I'm streaming. You know, I tend to miss a stream every once in a while. So it's really hard to kind of get my numbers up when I miss one stream and that means I've only done 2 in that week. Or when one of my streams is only an hour long because I started late. So come summertime, when I have the ability to stream consistently for 3 to 4 hours, and when I have the ability to consistently stream at the same time 4 times a week or 5 times a week, Holy crap, that scared me. Okay, I lied. The game still scares me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It'll be easier to get my numbers up when my numbers are more consistent. Holy crap, that was freaky. So maybe when that time comes, I might just stick to TikTok and another place. But I don't know yet if it's going to be YouTube or Twitch. It's probably going to be Twitch, but with the way things are going with TikTok, YouTube might be my better choice. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
We did it. Isaac, a ship just shocked in. The USM Valor. They must have heard our SOS.
That fast? What's a military ship doing way out here?
Out on patrol? Whatever. Right now I take a rescue from a fucking magpie. Head for communications. Once we fix the comms array, we can get all the answers we need.
So since I started early, I'm probably going to end early tonight. My original goal was to stream longer, but Thursday nights don't do well because it's just a really awkward time for most of my viewers. I was saying this at the very top of my stream. My European viewers, it's super, super early in the morning for them. Like right now, it's probably like 4 in the morning-ish. And my American viewers, it's pretty late at night for a lot of them. So, you know, it's like between 10 in the morning and I think even up to 12:30 right now, and it's Thursday, so a lot of them are going to work. A lot of them are you know, busy doing stuff, so they can't really hang out this late on a Thursday. Crap. So I'm probably just gonna end early just to save myself the hassle of being too tired tomorrow for the stream. Not that streaming is a hassle, but it's hard for me to wake up in the morning or in the afternoon because I stay up so late and not miss the stream. So if I end the stream a bit early tonight, that allows me to start a little bit more closer to on time tomorrow. You know what I mean? So oh crap. I was out of ammo and health. Damn it. But yeah, so then hopefully if I'm, because I work night shift, so I'm used to staying up pretty late. But if I can get to bed and asleep by about 2 in the morning, that means by 10 in the morning, I will have, like, it's probably gonna be closer to 3, but like by 10 in the morning, I would have had 7 or 8 hours of sleep. And then that gives me an hour to get up, have breakfast, get dressed, get the stream ready, and then hopefully I can be started by 12:30. And if I go from 12:30 till 2:30, that's a 2-hour stream. It's a pretty good stream. So if that's the case, because I was starting later because I had to drop Alana off to work before. I don't have to do that anymore. And since I don't have to drop her off anymore, I can start just slightly earlier. And since I can start slightly earlier, I can end earlier, which means I can be up earlier for tomorrow and stream. So, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. There's a stream tip. If you're new to streaming and you have a hard time, like, talking to people, just think out loud about, like, your plans and stuff. It's easy content to just talk. Oh, crap, again! But I might do that. I might do that as a plan to make my streaming a little bit more consistent for Fridays. And then hopefully in the next couple of months I'll be able to get my streams to a better position than where they are right now as far as like consistency and hours and stuff. Whew, I forgot that part happened. Scary. Anybody who's watching on TikTok, I am live on Twitch and YouTube, so if you do want to follow there, feel free. Shameless plug, shameless plug, shameless plug.
Now arriving at the bridge.
Okay.
We did it. Isaac, a ship just shocked in. The USM Valor. They must have heard our SOS.
That fast? What's a military ship doing way out here?
Out on patrol? Whatever, right now I take a rescue from a fucking magpie. Head for communications. Once we fix the comms array, we can get all the answers we need.
Man, the voice acting in this is really good. It's really, really good voice acting. Let's save real quick, just in case. I'm gonna try this once, see what happens.
Clearance confirmed.
Did I totally miss this area? Free bullets, why not? Nope, no bullets. Nope, no bullets. Okay, a little bit of bullets. Free bullets, I got one set of bullets. I got some flamethrowers, yay. Because we're all excited about the flamethrower in this game. Going back to me not remembering names, there's one person that pops into the stream. I don't remember their name. I remember that their display picture is them like covered in snow. I still haven't found any weapons. They were suggesting that I probably missed a bunch of weapons on my way here. I still haven't found any. We definitely want some health. Actually, how many bullets do I have for that? You know what? Let's do 2 of these. And we'll do 2 of these. Okay. Now we got a ton of bullets and some health. So I really hope this is it. We can do it. Move, move, move! Oh, you're still alive. You jerk. You're supposed to be dead. Are we good? Are we good?
Quarantine lifted.
That was intense. Wasn't as bad though. Okay, we figured it out. That's all that I care about. It's all that I care about.
Another one. I'm getting weird feedback spikes on local comms.
Whatever's wrong with the comms array is spreading.
No, that's not it. So, the door to communications should be open. You can head down to the comms control station. And Isaac, watch what you say. I think someone's listening in.
I don't think I have any more of these, right? Nope, no nodes. No nodes. I made taquitos tonight for dinner. They were really good. I was very proud of myself. Actually, hold on. I want to make sure that there's no other bullets or anything. I missed a whole bunch. Maybe there's more. Deep fried chicken taquitos. There's still some left over, so I'm going to have some right after I'm done the stream. eat myself some yummy taquitos and then go to bed. Because I am the healthiest person in the world and I eat dinner right before going to sleep. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted. No, go back. Go back, wrong elevator. Wrong elevator. Yeah, wrong elevator. I had my doctor's appointment today with my cardiologist, and it had to be video call. And my laptop, the battery was dead, so I turned on the computer, and obviously I've got these big things. I don't have a webcam. I have just the big cameras, and so I turned it on, and this camera is vertical, so I didn't want to use that. So I used the other one, the big chatting screen one. And we're doing our video chat, and then he comments. He's like, yeah, I was gonna say, he's like, you kind of look. I feel like I'm watching a YouTube video right now because obviously I had my lights on because it's too dark if I don't. And I'm using my big fancy camera. He made me feel like a YouTuber. It's the most YouTuber-esque I've ever felt in my life. I'm so deep in the content creator world that I forget that, like, there are outsiders that don't really watch a lot of content or create content, so they have no idea about content. And so, like, when they see me set up, when it's literally, I just turn on one light so he could see me. To him, it looked like I set up a whole studio. And it's not like a dig towards him. It's just, I forget that, like, the whole world doesn't revolve around creating content. I didn't know you could blow my head off. Okay, I think I got my head blown off, but I don't remember. I don't know. I saw a weird alert at the top of the screen, but I don't know what it was on my tablet. It doesn't show anything anywhere else though. Whatever that was, thank you. I appreciate it. Where's my Tickfinity? There we go. Just want to make sure I can see the chat. Is he dead? Okay, he's dead. It's really, really uncomfortable. I love it. I love how uncomfortable this game is. Oh my god. I had mentioned this on one stream before where, like, these games are getting to the point where they're so realistic that they're so realistic that it's getting to the point where the gore now is becoming uncomfortable. You know, games have had gore for so long. You know, I'm thinking specifically about, like, Mortal Kombat and how, like, all the uptight parents were losing their minds about the violence in Mortal Kombat. But, like, I don't think they could have ever imagined this level of detail in a video game where it could look this realistic. You know, this is to the point where, like, it's starting to reach an uncomfortable, real level of violence. Do you know what I mean? 5:30 a.m. Good morning. I'm sorry you can't sleep. That really stinks. I don't know if watching a horror stream where I'm just like blathering on is a good idea. I mean, maybe me blathering on might be good for like falling asleep, but the loud screaming and blood, guts, and gore may not be the best to fall asleep to. You know, it's not exactly a lullaby. Hearing monsters and all that, you know what I mean?
Has been notified.
Oh, I'm getting hungry. Okay.
Unsent message retrieved from array buffer.
I don't think I've been here.
Progress report, Captain Benjamin Mathias to Paragon Jordan, Una. This will be my last transmission. Afterwards, I'll make sure our pilgrimage can be completed without interference. We have successfully brought the Holy Marker on board. Dr. Kine, an expert on the original marker.
Oh, I think I already watched this.
Secrets.
Clearance confirmed.
For quarantine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already watched that one. Well, thank you very much. No, and it's fine. Thank you. I'm glad you like the hair. It's been a fun journey. I'm very happy with it. I really like it. I thought I was gonna kind of like it. I really like it, and I'm glad you like it too. It always helps when other people compliment something that you like already. You know what I mean? Because, like, I like it, so it doesn't matter if other people like it, but it always helps to know other people like it too. It always helps, so thank you.
Entering zero gravity.
What the heck? Uh-oh. Oh, God, there's so many of them. Oh, there are so many of them. Ouch. No, I'm okay with it. I try to be very public about it for that reason. Because I know other people don't want to talk about it. But thank you for being considerate about it. Some people point it out and they don't mean to be mean. But I know some people don't want to talk about it, so sometimes it's not the nicest thing to bring it up, but
Valor's in a holding position.
you were really, really kind about it, so thank you.
Right. Someone hot-wired the dishes together and blew up the system.
So we're screwed.
No, it was sloppy work. Some of the dishes are intact. If I replace them and create a new circuit with no gaps, we can broadcast a signal. Short range only, but it should work.
Okay, do it. I'll keep an eye on things here.
Okay, so we need to make... I have a feeling more and more monsters are gonna come as I put more of these down. Yeah, it's a bit of a stigma here too. It's a big stigma here, actually. That's why I'm so open about it, because I know other people are having a very, very hard time talking about it. Do you know what I mean? You know, people get made fun of for it. Like, oh, you wear a hair system, you wear a wig, whatever. You're insecure, or you're scared, or you're not a real man. But, like, there's nothing to be embarrassed about, right? Like, I put on clothes, and depending on my fashion, I'm gonna wear something that I like, and somebody might not like it, so... I know that if I at least talk about it openly, maybe other men won't be so scared to do it. Even if they do it in secret. They don't have to be open like I am, but maybe me being open will help them. But I'm actually not embarrassed about it at all. I think the only time I'd be embarrassed is if I was trying to talk to like a pretty woman and I have to tell her that I have this kind of hair. I think that would make me embarrassed a little bit. Okay, so what if I... No, exactly. I actually said the exact same thing the last stream. It's not like I decided I wanted to go bald. It's not like I said, you know what? I don't want hair anymore. I didn't do that. I had no choice. You know, I'm just doing something about it to make me feel better. But that's exactly it. You know, it's different like if I chose to shave my head and put one of these on just because. That's different. Or like when you wear clothing that maybe other people don't like, I can understand because you choose that kind of clothing. But I didn't choose to lose all my hair. I used to have a lot of hair. I used to love taking care of my hair. I was actually the kind of person that would spend hours combing my hair and, you know, styling it differently. I would try different haircuts all the time. And then one day I lost all my hair and there was nothing I could do about it. Okay, so what if I... Boy, this is hard. But yeah, there are plenty of women who put on wigs and they have a lot of hair and they like wigs, so they just put it on. And nobody says anything to them, so we should be allowed to do the same thing. Okay. Was that enough? I don't think it was. Okay. So there's one more right here. I'm trying to... Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay. Okay. I was trying to fill in all the lines. I didn't realize I'm just trying to get to the middle. Okay. Like, has the doctor told me why I lost my hair? No particular reason. They did a bunch of tests and it's just regular male pattern baldness, which there's not really... There's not one reason that it happens. It can be for any reasons. One of the main reasons is too much testosterone. But just regular male pattern baldness. I started to lose my hair when I was about 23 years old. So I've been losing it for a really, really long time. It wasn't new for me. I've been shaving my head for a really long time too. I only started doing this because my channel, a company offered to work with me. There we go. You're 25, yeah. When I was 23, I wasn't losing a lot of it. I only lost a little bit. Like, I had a bald spot, but it wasn't bad. What made it more obvious for me is my hair was so black that you could see it more because my scalp was so light. Do I have a picture? I don't know. Let me see. Downloads. Did I? I don't have any pictures of myself from before on my computer. I might be able to just do it on my phone, maybe. It's gonna be blurry. It's gonna be pretty blurry because it was a picture of like the screen. It wasn't like I was watching myself in a musical that I did, and then I took a picture of my screen. Here's a picture. It's really blurry. But if you that was me. You can kind of see it there. It's not great, but like I had really dark hair. It's almost the exact same hairdo I have now. That was about 24. But I did a show right before then, where where's my focus? There it is. Where I was on stage and they had a big spotlight on top of my head as I was singing, and the makeup lady came up and she's like, your head's starting to shine. She's like, you're starting to lose your hair. That's how I found out. So they used to buy me hairspray to put in my hair, so when I was on stage it wouldn't go everywhere. And they used to buy me hairspray that had color in it, so it would go black, so then it would paint my scalp, so that my scalp wouldn't shine, so then it would look darker. But I didn't really start to lose my hair till I was about 27, 28 years old is when I really started to notice it. At about 30, I started to shave my head, like really short buzz cut. And then I just started to fully shave my head at about 33. And then I, like, with a razor and everything. And at that point, one of my friends had a transplant done. I looked into transplants. I was gonna get a transplant, but then I had to buy a car. So I got the car instead. But then later on, when I went and talked to a doctor, I don't have enough natural hair that if they did the transplant, it would leave really bad scars because I don't have enough natural hair. It's still thick, but not like this is my natural hair, but I shaved it. But up here, this is my natural hair too. So this dark spot, this is my real hair. So it's still pretty thick, but it's not, it would leave scars. And so it wasn't going to be worth it for me. And because I had lost so much hair, I would have to do it over and over and over again. And there just wasn't enough left over to cover my whole scalp. It would take like 10 years for it to fully grow in properly. And at like $10,000 a session, having to do it like every 3 or 4 years, it would have been too much money. So then when I got an opportunity to work with this company, I was like, yeah, I'll do it with the company. It's a lot less expensive. It's instant. And if I get tired of it or if I can't afford it, I can literally just take it off, shave my head, and go back to how I used to be. So it's a good option. Well, and here you don't get it from insurance. That is considered, like, I'm in Canada and it's considered an elective surgery, and it's out of pocket. You have to pay for it 100%. And so it's anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 depending on how much hair you need. Because they charge you like per hair, basically. So I know my friend paid about $10,000 for his, and his was only like the little corners up here. Mine would have been the whole scalp. So I was gonna be looking at like 4 or 5 sessions. Each one would have been about $12,000 to $15,000 just to get it filled in, and even then it would still be pretty thin. So yeah, see, not here. They don't give you anything back here, which really stinks because this can be really hard on some people. I was okay with being bald. You know, I when I shaved my head, it didn't bother me. I missed having hair, but I didn't feel depressed about not having hair. I just missed it. And that's how they see it here, that it's something that you don't need to have. Well, here they don't even pay for your dentist, so they don't really care about the way you look. But it can be really hard for some people to lose their hair. It can be very hard on your self-esteem. I didn't really care. Like, I didn't feel bad about not having hair, but where it did matter to me is, you know, I do acting, and without hair I look older, and there's a lot less they can do with me with no hair. right? Because a lot of like the smaller theater companies, they don't want to pay for a wig. Good wigs are very expensive, and so they don't want to pay for them, so they'd rather have somebody with hair. So going in and trying out for a show when I have no hair is hard. Right before I got this done, I did one. I auditioned for a show, and they turned me down, and the reason they turned me down is I looked too old. Mind you, I looked too old. I was the right age for the character, but the character I was going for was supposed to be in love with a girl, and the girl they chose was 19, and I looked 36, so it didn't look good together. If I had my hair, I would have looked a lot younger. I bet you I would have gotten the role. But that's where the hair bothered me, is that I couldn't play any other age. It was, I looked my age and that was it. Whereas here I feel like I can look a lot younger if I put on the makeup. I've got acne, so I can look pretty young, so that helps. And like I said, I miss doing my hair. That's pretty much it. I miss being able to style my hair and have different hairdos and stuff. So that's the part that I missed. But outside of that, I didn't miss having hair. Like I didn't feel bad about not having hair. I didn't feel ugly. I feel more attractive now, but I didn't feel ugly without my hair. I didn't feel like me. That was the biggest thing that I noticed, is now that I have hair and I look at myself in videos and pictures, I feel like myself again. Whereas before, it's like, I know that that's me, but it didn't feel right. And now I feel normal again. So it's nice, but the government here won't pay for it. So thankfully with the wig, I can afford it because it's only a few $100s, and if I take care of it really well, it can last for 4 or 5 months. I know that this is one of the more delicate ones, but there are other wigs that aren't as delicate, and those ones can last up to like 8 to 10 months. Some of them even last to a year if you really take care of them. So paying $400 or $500 2-3 times a year, that's not too bad for me to have that self-esteem. And they stay on. I can shower with it. I can go swimming or whatever. I don't swim, but I could do that. I can be out in the wind with it. I don't have to worry about it, which is really nice. It's just once every 2 weeks I have to get maintenance done, where like I take it off, I clean it up and put it back on. I have to cut my own hair or get it cut to match. But it's pretty easy to take care of, and it's not super expensive. So it's a good option for a lot of people. Thank you. I'm glad you think I look good. I'm happy with it. I'm really, really happy with it. I didn't know how I would feel. I was a little bit worried that I was going to hate it. But I absolutely love it. Like, I really love it. And the cool thing is that because it's a wig, I can try different stuff, right? Like my whole life, I had very thick hair. My hair was very close to this. The way it is here is the way my natural hair was. But my hair grew out very like out and straight. It was never very nice. You know what I mean? And so I always wanted long hair, but I couldn't do it because my hair didn't grow very nice. The longest I ever had it was to like about here, like from the top of my head to about here. It was like the mushroom cut, but my mushroom cut was big and poofy, and then it would flip out at the ends. So I had like the 1950s woman hairdo. Do you know what I mean? Because my hair wasn't very nice. But with these, I can get hair that's very nice and have it long, and it'll work. I can also go get hair and have it be super blonde and just shave my sides, and then I'll have blonde top. So it's like I can get different colors done or different styles. I can go super curly if I want. So it's like I can try different stuff, which is really nice about this kind of stuff. So it can be fun. It can still be, a little bit embarrassing. Like I said, if I ever like want to go on a date with a woman, it's a little bit embarrassing that I'd be worried like if she can tell, because if she doesn't know me, she's gonna be like, oh, why does he have hair like that? But at the same time, I just feel better with it, so it's nice. It's nice. Technically, yeah, the company that I'm doing this with, they're Lord Hair is what they're called, Lord Hair. They just started selling Afro hair, and so I don't know how big it is. I'm assuming it's rather small. But yeah, technically they could. I know you can get like really long hair. I just saw one guy who did like mohawk style hair, where it was like really long, smooth hair, and then he just shaved the sides of his head, so he had like long mohawk style hair, but he didn't spike it up, he just had it go down. I saw another guy do like this hair. When it came out, when I got it, it was like about that long, and all of it. And I saw one guy use his wig like that, and he just tied it up in a knot. And so he didn't get it cut or anything, just tied it up in a ponytail and then just shaved the side. So it looked like he had like just the top was long for a ponytail. It's cool. You could do a lot of really cool stuff with this hair, which is a nice thing. Can't do that with natural hair.
This is USM Valor, broadcasting on all frequencies to USG Ishimura in response to your SOS. We picked up
And
your
yeah,
escape
$500 to feel good is worth it.
en route to your position. This message will repeat every 30 seconds until you respond.
Escape pod.
Oh, fuck. The pod Hammond jet is...
Oh,
That creature was inside.
No. USM Valor, come in. Come in, Valor.
yeah, exactly.
Her signal isn't
Exactly.
strong enough.
Can we deploy the long-range antenna?
No, something's blocking the blast doors over the comms array. The hell?
There'll be a manual release over at maintenance. I'll go. Keep trying to reach them.
Yeah, you can have a lot of different options with this kind of hair, which is cool. This company in particular, they do just like the front, they'll do like a little patch that if you just have the receding but the back is okay, they'll sell you just a little piece so you can just fill in the front. They do sell really small ones that you can just put in the back just to cover the bald spot in the back. That's how I started. That's how I started to go bald. They do what they've done with me, where it's like the whole thing. Like my hair system goes from about here and it goes all the way around to the front. Like all of the top is fake. Now I think they do like a full wig for somebody like with cancer or something. They do the full wig. Those ones are a lot harder to make them look natural because you do want a little bit of fade from like your natural edges to help. I'm like at the maximum basically. Any next step from this would be for me to get a full wig because there's enough. I've lost enough now that they don't really make them much bigger than what I have now. But it gives you a lot of options for what you can do with your hair. And yeah, $500 to feel better, it's worth it. And for a lot of people who deal with depression, because in the end, nobody really cares if you're bald, right? But in society, I don't know how it is over there, but here, like in Canada and in the States, it's accepted that you make fun of the guy that has no hair, right? Whether you mean it in a mean way or not, you can still pick on the guy with no hair, right? And for some men, that's very hard. I'm lucky that I've always been outgoing and very good at embarrassing myself. And because I don't really understand society, it doesn't really bother me as much. So when I got made fun of for, losing my hair, it wasn't the end of the world. And because I was likable, not a lot of people made fun of me for losing my hair. So the people who made fun of me were usually jerks, so it didn't bother me. But for some guys, it's really, really hard, right? It's really hard to meet people and make friends and feel good when you get made fun of for losing your hair. Losing your hair naturally makes you look older. For some men, it's not a big deal if they look a little bit older, but for some men, it can make you look really old. I had a friend who was about 18 and he had like the horseshoe hair. Like I'm talking nothing at the top except for like a few combed hairs and like full horseshoe hair. He looked like he was 50. That would have been really hard for him at 18. So for $500 a year to feel like yourself and to look good, and if you get it started when you're young enough, then nobody will ever know. For me, it was really noticeable because I went from completely bald to a full head of hair. Whereas like if you're like 19 and you start to lose your hair, then you can start wearing one without anybody really noticing that you're doing it. And then you don't have to go through the trauma of losing your hair. I never really had a bad experience. There was one time where I saw an ex-girlfriend who I hadn't seen in about 8 years. And the last time she saw me, I had hair. I was losing it, but I still had a head of hair. She saw me right before I got this done, and I had been growing in my hair for about a month, so it was very obvious that I had lost a lot of hair. And then I saw her, and her face, part of it was she was shocked to see me. She didn't expect to see me. But her face when she saw me, it was very much like, oh, you look terrible. That kind of sucks. Whereas like now, I don't care. I know I look older. I know I don't look as good as I used to, but I don't feel bad. For $500, it's worth it. It's really worth it for the men who wouldn't be able to handle the self-esteem issues. It's totally worth it. Yeah. Yeah, it always feels bad when people make fun of you for anything. But for being bald, it's so out of your control, right? It's not like, okay, so I have acne, right? Like right now, you can't really see it on this camera. See it on this one though. You can kind of see the mark on my face. I've got a thing on it right now, but I've got a pimple right on the edge of my lip. And I've had a couple of people make comments on videos making fun of me. And so like that, it feels bad because people making fun of you sucks. But it's a pimple. It'll go away. You know, I'm doing what I can to take care of myself. I've always had acne, so like the comments I get are like, wash your face more, even though I wash my face twice a day and I use creams and everything. But it's something that I know in like a week it'll be gone and it's no big deal. This one is a scar that I have that I gave to myself. I popped a pimple and it turned into a scar and now it's there forever. So it doesn't like it sucks when people make fun of it, but it's not horrible. But losing your hair is something that won't go away. And you didn't choose it, and there's nothing that you did to have it happen. So when somebody makes fun of you for that, it really sucks. Especially for men, because you usually start to lose your hair when you're younger. And so, you know, when you're trying to date, you're trying to meet women or men, you're trying to find a partner for the rest of your life, and then you start losing your hair, you start losing your confidence. People make fun of you, you feel worse about it, and then you don't want to meet somebody because you feel bad about yourself. And it's out of your control. It really sucks. It really, really sucks. Thankfully, again, I had the kind of personality that could get away with it. So like I had more dates when I lost all my hair than I ever did with a full head of hair. So I never had that worry too much. But yeah, it really sucks. It really sucks losing all that. And for $500, I don't regret it at all. I think my only worry is making sure I have that money to buy a new one when it comes up for the time, because that does worry me that I'll have an emergency and I can't get one, and then I'm gonna have no choice but to go bald again. But I also know that if I do have to go bald again, it'll only be for a short amount of time, and then I can just buy another one and I'm back to having hair again. So it's cool. Just not a lot of people talk about it openly. 504 Tona, hello, welcome. Not a lot of people talk about it openly, and so it's still something people are embarrassed about to say they wear a wig. And I still feel that. I don't feel embarrassed about it, but I still know that people hear me talk about it and will turn around and be like, oh my God, he's not embarrassed that he's wearing a wig. How pathetic. But I don't really care. I mean, I've done videos on TikTok where like my belly's sticking out. I got peanut butter on my face. I've made dumb videos where like I'm making funny voices. I've done theater shows where I'm on stage in nothing but underwear and high heels. So like I don't get embarrassed very easily. But me talking about it openly, there might be somebody who's, 25 years old right now who's hearing this and going, you know what? I could do that. I could wear a wig, and they don't have to tell anybody and they'll feel better. And that to me is worth it. So I don't mind being open about it. I also hope that eventually we'll get to a point where a man wears a wig and it's not a big deal, because these look real. Like I think this looks like real hair. If I wasn't talking about it, I don't think anybody could really tell that it was fake. So I want to get to the point where like somebody goes, oh yeah, he wears a wig, no big deal. I have lots of like women friends who wear wigs on a regular basis and nobody ever says anything about it. I want it to be the same for men. Right? It's like when I started in healthcare, I was working in like the nursing field. I was a nursing assistant. And when I started, there were no other men. And so like there were, but not very many. And most of the men that worked there were gay. And so for a straight man to work there, I got made fun of a lot. It was like, oh, you're closet gay, or you must be gay. And it's like, why does me working here mean that I'm gay? Just because I care about people and I want to take care of them? But now, when I went back to nursing school as like a much older adult, there were a lot more men working in it. And so now it's not as like, oh, he's working in healthcare. Now it's like, oh, okay. I hope it's the same with the wigs. That eventually we'll get to the point where it's like, oh, he wears a wig. Okay, no big deal. Right? I just happen to be one of the ones that's up at the front kind of like doing it publicly. So hopefully other guys won't be so embarrassed, Exactly. And I have ADHD, and now that I've gotten that treated, my doctors and people around me suspect that I have autism as well. But I don't have as many obvious traits, so it was something that nobody really noticed because of the ADHD. Now that the ADHD is under control, the autism traits are really shining. But yeah, and so you get it, right? People expect certain things from you, or expect certain limitations that you're gonna have, right? But you can break through those. So it's kind of the same with the hair loss, right? It's I pretty much expected I was gonna be bald forever, and I had no choice. I had to just deal with it. But now I found this, and I'm hoping that no other guy's gonna feel like you have no choice, you're gonna be bald and that's it. I can show them that, hey, you don't have to be bald the rest of your life, and you don't have to be ashamed about wearing a wig, you know? Yeah, you have the same thing? Yeah, it's an interesting journey. It was something that I never expected, and now, you know, I'm 36, almost 37, and now I'm going through all this, and it's a lot to learn about myself. It's a lot to learn about myself. But yeah, I'm glad you like it. I'm not too embarrassed to talk about it. I still get embarrassed about certain people knowing about it, because like one of my friends followed me on Instagram, and she's an ex-girlfriend, and for some reason I was really embarrassed that she started following me, because like I didn't want her to know about it. Not so much like I didn't care that she knew that I was wearing one, but like I have videos of myself where like I've taken it off and I'm doing maintenance and stuff, and like instantly I was super embarrassed about her seeing that. So like there are still certain people that I'm kind of about knowing about it, but not everybody. You know, it's like I'm hoping to audition for a certain theater, and there's a bunch of people that I used to do shows with, and I'm really nervous about them seeing me, because they will make fun of me. Not in like a to be mean, but it's just that's the relationship we've always had. They've always teased me about things, and I tease them too, and so I feel like they would tease me about the hair, so I'm nervous about them seeing it. But for like the rest of the world, I don't care. I'll meet people out on the street, I'm like, yeah, I wear a wig. I'm like super open about it, and they still kind of go, oh, but then they see how it looks and they're like, oh, okay, it's different than what I expected, because most people think of a wig and they think of like the really fake ones, right? And honestly, I don't think this looks bad. The other one looked a little bit more fake, but not so much that it was fake. It was really black, so it looked like I dyed my hair. But this one looks super, super natural. So I try to be super open about it. Yeah, there's certain people that you just don't care about, and there's certain people you're just like, I don't want them to know that I did that. It's embarrassing. Even if I don't care about them, it's still embarrassing. Definitely. But it's been a cool journey for sure. It's been a really cool journey. I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy about it. Anyways, I should get out of here. I have to eat, and then I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna be live again tomorrow, because it's very, very early for you, so it's actually gonna be later today. Yeah, in about 12 hours is when I'll be live again, and I'm gonna be playing some Elden Ring. So if you want to come hang out, feel free. Tona, I don't know if you're still there. I'm sorry that you popped in right as I'm leaving, but I gotta get going. But I will be back again. We're gonna be playing some more Elden Ring tomorrow, or later today for people in Europe. And yeah, I'd appreciate it. If you can't, obviously, that's fine. But it was nice chatting. Thank you for the compliment. You have no idea how much that means to me, because I get a lot of comments on it, but it's mostly like, hey, you have hair now, and that's kind of where it ends. But like the fact that you know it's a wig, but you wanted to tell me that you liked it, that means a lot. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you get some sleep. I hope you get some sleep. But have yourself a good day. Thank you for spending time with me. Everybody on YouTube and Twitch, thank you all for hanging out as well. I'm gonna get out of here. All right, TikTok, see you later. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, and let me just log out here on TikTok, because sometimes I forget to actually stop the stream, and then I'm still live, and I go to TikTok and it keeps showing me that I'm live even though I'm not. And everybody on Twitch and YouTube, thank you for hanging out as well. I will be live again tomorrow for some Elden Ring. Thank you all for watching me play and jabber on and just talk. All right, see you later.